this morning, the National Peace Council has refuted suggestions of political interference in the nomination and election of its chairman. Outgoing moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Professor Emmanuel Marty, over the weekend claimed he turned down a proposal by Deputy Interior Minister James Agwagwa to make him chairman of the council.
The Interior Minister, Prosper Bani, has denied the claim, insisting no such offer was made, and accused the Presby moderator of deceiving the public. Addressing a news conference to react to the claim, Peace Council Chairman Professor Emmanuel Asante said the suggestion of political interference calls into question its integrity and independence.
And I would like to say that from the Act, as I have read to you, there can be no political interference in respect of the nomination of eminent members to the board and in respect of the appointment of a chairman of the council. You see, members of the board are nominated by their respective institutions. And as I have read to you, these are religious bodies and other institutions. There is no way that anybody can politically influence the Catholic Bishops' Conference to nominate somebody, or the Christian Council of Ghana, the Ghana Pentecostal Council, the National Council for Christian and Charismatic Churches, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, the Al-Sunnah Muslim Mission, Tijaniya Muslim Mission, practitioners of African traditional religion, and the National House of Chiefs, and then the recognized bodies that I have talked about. To influence them politically and say that this is the person you have to nominate and bring to us. No. Then when it comes to the appointment of the chairman, the president doesn't appoint. The Constitution says that the Act says that per Article 70 of the Constitution, he appoints. But in fact, what happens is that it is the board that will elect. And we have a minutes here of the processes that we went through in terms of the election. Once the person is been elected without influence from any quarters, the president, by inaugurating that board, is deemed to have appointed them to office. So that is the case. There is no such a thing as political interference as far as we are aware of.
On the withdrawal of Professor Marty from the Peace Council, Professor Emmanuel Asante explained it was the Christian Council's decision, what it was bound to accept.
You will notice that when the board was inaugurated, among the names was the name of Professor Emmanuel Marty, because the Christian Council had nominated him and nobody had removed his name from the list of the membership. In fact, the day that we met to elect the chairman of the council, he was to have been part of that. What happened was that two of our members were absent. One was absent with apology, and that is Bishop Sa. He had traveled. Professor Marty was absent because we didn't receive any apology from him, and he stated in the minutes. We did the election. Two people were nominated and seconded. At the end of the day, one person emerged as the elected member who the council had elected to be the chairman. And that was conveyed to the president through the Ministry of Interior. And so when we went for the inauguration, it was these people who were inaugurated, including Professor Marty. It was later on that the same Christian Council that nominated Professor Marty brought us a letter to say that they had nominated the current chairman of the Christian Council, Reverend Dr. Edu Jemfi, to replace Professor Marty. That is their prerogative. It is the Christian Council that has the prerogative to nominate or to decide that, no, we want to bring this person. Why they did that, I'm not in a position to tell you. So that is it.
In another development, the Peace Council chairman is warning against predictions by religious leaders on the outcome of the December 7 general election. Professor Asante says it could create tension in the country and is urging all to desist from it.
He remains convinced, though, that reforms undertaken by the EC will ensure credible elections.
I think it is important for us to understand that politics per se is not something that any human being can avoid. You are a political animal, I am a political animal, and therefore we will by all means be interested in politics. But I think as religious leaders, we should be very careful about partisan politics. Why? Because I'm a Methodist, and in the Methodist church, sometimes when I'm meeting church members, I see people from MPP here, people from NDC here, people from CPP here, people from MPC here. If I take a stand for one particular party, I have divided my people. All I'm saying to them is that hold on to your preference, but live and let other people also live.
Will you counsel against predictions ahead of the election, especially?
I don't think it
is
proper for any religious leader to come out and predict anything. Even if God has revealed that to you, I think all things may be lawful, but it may not be expedient. It can create tension. And therefore, I'll plead with my fellow religious people to avoid so-called predictions. They don't help anybody.
The 2016 election seems to be settling down to the campaign of one-to-one, starting with the one factory, one district, one dam, one village, and finally the 1 million, one constituency campaign promises by the NPP.
While one-to-one campaign promises have been praised, criticized, and sometimes ridiculed, it however appears to be catching on. On Tuesday, President John Mahama promised the people of Ibra in the Central Region one house, 1 meter in a bid to solve the challenges residents there grapple with. As far as electricity is concerned, according to the president, 1,500 meters have already been procured in fulfillment of the policy.
Yeah, the AMA contract, Ofi Junction, Edeko Jukwai, the AMA contract. Orange Bia contract and Bobak. We are catching there, also Quanasia, taxi rank hono, on far asphalt, maybe in your home, taxi rank. Na Abraham minim oha kesia ewo modo efa electricity asem nipa bebre wonyi meter na adani bebre wo share meter kro enti aka che on there wo ma mo meter 1,500. Zuzu, it's Yakade, Yamamu meter 1,500. Then a baya, a dambia, benya, meter separate. Now, Sumdiaba.
Okay. That was the president speaking there at Abra.
Yes.
Abra.
Yeah, in the Central Region, where I come from.
1 meter, one household.
House.
So
yeah. 1 house,
1
meter,
1 meter, 1 house. It's fine.
But well, it's for free.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
But that's where it ends.
Yeah.
So you'd have to.
So I told you, make that promise this morning. But that'll be it for the news right here on the AM show. We'll return shortly to bring you a lot more as far as the online portals are capturing and the various newspapers are also capturing. But as usual, you could always get interactive with us on our various social media handles. On
Facebook, we are Joy News on TV. Same name, you'll find us on Twitter and Instagram. Alternatively, you can send us a WhatsApp message on the number 0560 800,000 0560 800 000.
Time now for the news review.